to our Spring Valley Flex program meeting here. We're here to talk about a new online program, flexible learning option for students in the district. So what we've done here is we've reached out to students and families in the district who currently reside in the district but do not currently attend our building. And the intention of that was to try to learn their story, hear from them on the why a little bit, and then potentially provide some options. So tonight what we're going to do is we're going to go through a series of introductions, a little bit about the program, and hear from a few students about what the program, who have been doing a little bit, kind of a blended model, as well as someone we have a student who's been doing the full virtual program as well, and looking at kind of how that looks and what it feels like, and then if there's questions and answers, we'll take that at that time. So first, thank you for coming tonight. We'll first do introductions here. So on the screen, you will see there's a handful of people with us. My name is Chris Segerstrom. I'm the middle school, high school principal here. So I kind of oversee all programs, and so this is one of those programs that I'll oversee as well. And then we have over here,
I will introduce myself. I'm Mrs. Bauer, so I am the Spring Valley Flex Coordinator, but I'm also the 6 through 12 school counselor here. So my main role is being a school counselor, but actually now having this role too, so I'm going to play some multiple dual roles with that piece. So I will probably be the one that you would mostly be in communication with through this whole process on that piece. So, and we also have our superintendent.
All right, for the sake of this video, I'll step up in front here. So John Gross, superintendent. This is my 4th year in Spring Valley, and my motivation for inviting everybody tonight and wanting everybody here is I think we deliver an amazing education for people. We've got the data to support it. We've got extremely supportive community, excellent teachers and staff, and I think after COVID happened, we saw a lot of people see there's other options and ways to be taught. And one of the ways, there's lots of good parts of that. One of the, I think, drawbacks is the connections you can make. And we believe in strong connections with our community. We will be a lot stronger if we have every single person that lives here come to school here in some form. And then the thing I'm excited about with this program is we have the ability for students to learn virtually, but if they choose to, and the families choose to have them connected in different ways through athletics or activities, field trips, other things like that, college credit, and we'll get into that in more detail, we can do that. So it's flexible, that's why it's Spring Valley Flex, and glad you're here, and hopefully you can get all your questions answered, and thanks for being here to share a little bit more about it. So.
okay. We also have Amy Webb, who's behind the camera. Thanks, Amy Webb. She's our district interventionist, so she would be participating and looking at some of the data as well. We also have on the screen, we have Peyton Jorgensen. She is here as well. So Peyton is a student who currently does the full-time SD Flex program and stays connected to our school in other ways, and she'll talk about that a little bit later. We do have a couple other students. They were invited. We have one that'll be showing up just here shortly. So we will get started into the slides and let our program coordinator talk through the program and all that it entails. Right before she starts that, I just want to share the district mission statement. It's on our website. We live by it. We talk about this a lot, but it's to provide that caring, respectful environment in partnership with the community. That's very important. This is one of those community pushes and connection pieces that will enable our students to become responsible citizens. It's a very big passion of mine that we do create these people who can lead this building in a way that they feel they have the tools to be successful after high school. And so this is just another way that our world is evolving and changing. And so I'm excited about the program, just as Mr. Gross stated as well, for the same reasons. So Mrs. Bauer will talk through the specifics of the program.
Okay, so as Mr. Segerstrom said, I am the coordinator, and so the big why behind everything, and Mr. Groh kind of mentioned why we're doing this, because we have so many awesome opportunities here. This is my 20th year, I think, in the school district, and so obviously I feel like there's a good reason to be here, and I'm still here, and I have gone through lots of different changes with this. But going back to it, it's the flexible part. We talked about how everybody's changing, every kid has different needs, and people are going through multiple things throughout their lives, and so we wanted to make sure that all kids have the opportunity to learn in their best way. Some kids will learn great online, some have to be in person because they know that they need to be in front of a human being. And then we have kids who are doing blended. So right now I currently have 20 plus students who are doing some form of Spring Valley Flex. Some are doing full-time, some are doing a couple classes online, and some are doing face-to-face, and then some are here the whole time. So we have multiple different ways for kids to learn at Spring Valley, and that's, I think that's a great thing for parents to know that they can do that. To understand, learning takes many forms. So Mr. Groh mentioned COVID-19. Since COVID-19, everything has changed in regards to kids learning from home and how we have more tools for kids to actually do that at home and more opportunities with that piece. So this program meets the changing needs of Spring Valley families, and it's like we talked about, the flexibility and choice. The one thing with our online program too, there's different types of courses that kids can take versus what we can offer in-house, because we don't have enough teachers to teach everything that we want our kids to learn. So having that opportunity to take something that maybe they're interested in career-wise is one of our big pluses and pushes with our online part. To maintain and create connections, that's one of our biggest things here, is to stay connected. Somehow get kids connected to the school, not just through academics, but through other things too, if it's sports, academics, things like that. We love to be able to be around parents and to connect with parents too, so we want them in our building and that kind of stuff. So this will allow them to participate in all school activities, so not just sports. Everybody sometimes thinks it's just sports, but we have lots of other clubs and organizations, music programs, things like that for kids to join with that piece. So what is the process? So if you're looking to come to Spring Valley, do you want to do full-time, in-person, blended, any of those things? I can help you with that. Mr. Segerstrom can help you with that. We can answer those questions. So the process is you reach out to us and we'll get in contact with you. We'll meet, we'll come up with the best plan that fits your child or your family or however it works. We have that meeting to go over enrollment options. It's not a long, hard process. It's usually Mr. Segerstrom, myself, and the parents and the student, and we kind of just go through all the details of what it entails with that piece. We look at the unique schedule and the individual. Obviously, we look at state requirements. We want to make sure that the kids are going to meet the state requirements, because sometimes kids may transfer schools for other reasons, and we want to make sure that we have all the kids that are going to stay in the state of Wisconsin or around this area to be taking the correct courses. And then we look over an agreement. So actually, Mr. Segerstrom and I just held one yesterday afternoon with a parent and the student, and we kind of go through the agreement with them. We talk to them about it, just to make sure that we're all on the same page with that piece, because sometimes kids will go to online and they'll decide, like, this is just not for me. So then we have to figure out a different route of how to get them successful and to get those credits met with that piece. So opportunities and connections, this is totally new. Like when I was in high school, there was no way we were doing online stuff. We still had books and pencils and paper. We didn't have technology like that. I think I sent my first email when I went to college. So it's just, everything is becoming more evolving and more options and courses with that piece. I have a student taking like a family and communications class, a marketing course that we don't offer here, some that science, some different types of courses that kids are taking that we wouldn't offer in-house. So it's just offering new connections for to our school. Like I said, you can participate in athletics, co-curriculars that would help enrich students' educational experience, more ties to the peers in the community. We don't want kids just to be taking school classes, because we know that kids are best when they're well-rounded and they can kind of do other things like that. A lot of our students that are doing the full-time online work, and they really find it appeals to them, and it's very flexible that they can go to school full-time and work pretty much as they want on that piece. We also have dual credit options. We have kids who will be taking college courses. It's paid for by the school district. This is open to all students that are juniors and seniors. Right, correct? Juniors and seniors. So kids can do that too, so they can get college credit and high school credit at the same time with that piece.
Are there any questions on the process or the program itself? Anything there that you're seeing or questions? Just a note on the dual credit piece, and this is for in-person or virtual students. So that process, as Mrs. Bauer said, is open to any student, grades 11 and 12. But what you do is you go through a formal request, and then that request we work with Mrs. Bauer. And some classes are online, some may be at a university, some may be at the CBTC, but we can really cater to what a student is looking for after high school. Like if they're really into going into maybe nursing, we'll try to get them certain classes through the university because they'll get those dual credits. And that may be an online class as well. It may be in person. It's all gonna be up to your preference, so being flexible there too. So it's unique in a way. Our Edmentum program is something that we utilize as our core, kind of our online basis. But there are other things that we can fill into it, like for example, youth apprenticeship. We have a student working and doing this at the same time so they can get credit for working as well as taking the online courses at the same time. So we really just blend it to make it fit their needs as well. Okay, we do have a student here who is full-time in the program, so we're gonna ask her a few questions about the program. So, if you could just make sure you speak loud enough.
Just speak loud, you don't have to come up and everybody.
I guess, so Peyton Jorgensen, this summer came to us and was really, actually, we had talked last year, she's like, I really wanna do online, and I was probably like, Peyton, you do so well in person, why? But after talking with her and really just kind of learning her story, we learned like, you know what? I need to change maybe my mindset a little bit because maybe this is the right thing for her because she was sharing with me the reasons on why. So what were those conversations, and ultimately, Peyton, what led you to want to go online?
Well, I really like to work, and now I can, with going online, I can work and do my school, and it's really flexible, so I can have like the times I want to work. Like they don't like necessarily like have to like be like around school, like if I was to be in school. So I can really work whenever. And now I currently just got a second job, and so I work a lot, and I'm still able to do school, and I also ride horses, and that's kind of what my life is around. So I'm able to ride my horses more, and I feel personally that school takes up too much of my time, but with going online, it's really flexible and lets me do the things I want to do, but still get my school education.
So talk about that a little bit more. You mentioned that you're able to work multiple jobs, ride horse, do all these other things. How do you balance getting your work done and doing all those other things that you mentioned? Is it hard, or are there things that do you have a system or a structure in place that helps you?
It really depends on when I work, because if I work both jobs at once, one job is earlier in the morning and one's later in the afternoon, so I normally go home after my morning job and I do my online school, and if I have time after that, I go and ride my horses, and then I go to my other job. So it's really flexible.
Yeah, so you're just really monitoring that. And one thing, would you say that the system, the Edmentum system that you're using is easy to kind of monitor, track your progress? Does it
Yes.
keep, yeah. What does it look like on your end as a user, as a student? Like, does it tell you if you're ahead of pace or behind
Yes,
pace?
it
Or?
tells you if you're ahead of pace, and if you're ahead of pace, then that's good, I guess.
Does it have and it has your like grade and your on target grade too, right?
Yeah, it has your on-target grade, your course grade, and then your, I think it's,
Final grade, of course grade, yeah, course
Yeah.
grade. Mhm.
I think there's also another one. Oh, did I already say target grade?
Your target and course grade. So basically between those two is like if you did not do anything else for the rest of the semester, this is what your grade would be. But if you, right now, with everything turned in, this is what your grade is. So it's kind of nice to know, like, oh man, if I don't do the rest of my work, I'm gonna fail this course. Or you could be like, oh, I only have 2 assignments left and I'm already getting an A, that's awesome, you know, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it kind of does give you that peace of mind of where you're at on that piece. I remember early on when we talked, you said, yeah, I just do everything right away at the beginning of the week, and then I have the rest of the week to, you know, and so, but you can change it. Like, if you have a really busy week, right, it's that part.
And depending on the class, you don't have assignments every day. Like, I know in a few classes I have like school like Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, or like Wednesday and Friday. Like, it's normally only like 2 to 3 times a week that I have school in that class.
So what would be, what is your biggest challenge with online schooling?
Off the top of my head, I don't really have any big challenges with online school.
How about if someone's thinking about, I wanna do something like what you just explained to us, what advice would you give them?
That if they can learn online and have not, you don't get as much help online as you do in person because there's people right there to help you. But online, you have to like email your teachers and you have to wait for them to respond. So that can get irritating, but if they just have patience and they're a good online learner, then I think it would be good for them. And if they just work out a routine that works for them, then I think it would work good.
You did awesome. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you did great.
That was like a real interview.
But Peyton, you probably are pretty organized now, right? This has taught you a little bit more organizational piece, because you know that if you could do that part, would you say that somebody who is maybe not the most organized, or they kind of procrastinate, online school might be a struggle for them unless they
Yeah.
figure it out? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Because there's just some people who need that structure, and so for somebody to tell them, you need to do this now, and that piece instead of self-paced.
Mhm.
Yeah. Where's my signature?
We did have, so we did reach out to a handful of people. People are busy on Fridays, and I get that, but this parent said more than happy to share her contact information. Her son currently does it, and this is what she had wrote back to me. She said, please share this. I've enjoyed the schedule flexibility, diverse class offerings, platform design, ease of tracking progress and expectations, realistic workload. As for negative feedback, I honestly don't have any. And then she just said, thanks for helping our family by offering this opportunity. It truly has made a world of difference. I wish I was able to attend tonight, but hopefully this email can serve as my testament to the program. So I think it just really goes to show that it is working for people. It is something that is an option, and I'm very thankful that we're able to stay connected with this family, because they've been a really important part of our community here in Spring Valley, just as each of us make our unique puzzle pieces of the puzzle. So I've had, and I know that Peyton has shared, and your mom is in support, obviously, mom and dad, have supported this.
Did she email you?
Maybe not, but that's okay.
She sent a
She did
text
share with me,
message.
yeah.
Okay.
So her biggest thing that she wanted to share was that she loves that she's able to get the education in a flexible format that is able to allow her to work and do things that she enjoys. She likes that she has questions, she can still come into school and get her questions answered. She's able to come in and do different projects through different co-curricular activities and those kind of things. And it allows her to get the best of both worlds, so.
Yeah, that's one thing we didn't talk about with you. You come back and work in the shop with Mr. Stimley, right?
Beautiful cutting board.
And make stuff. So we really are trying to be flexible and say, we want you here, we believe in you, and it's your story to write. So, yeah, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, awesome.
We didn't really, when we started this, we didn't really realize it probably evolved to something a little bit bigger, but it's growing, right, for the right reasons, I think, so.
And I would just want to add, the majority of our students who are in-house that are taking a few onesies, twosies classes, a lot of them are either it's a schedule conflict that they can't fit, like they want to take so many classes that they can't fit them in because they're offered at the same time. And then they have an open hour where there's nothing available that they could take. So then they'll take something that's maybe for them for college or whatever it is. So most of our students are their interest. So we have a couple of them that are mostly here, and they actually do their online classes in the building too. So they're here working independently here on that piece. But most of the kids that were gonna come and talk, we're gonna talk a little bit about that. But like Mr. Segerstrom said, they're busy and they had other things to do, so.
Any questions? I know we have some here that are looking to come back
So
in
we're not
person.
coming to